guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. If you're new here, then hi, welcome. It's really nice to meet you. Just want to quickly say before I start, I had my wisdom tooth out yesterday, so I'm in a lot of pain. Face is quite swollen internally and externally here. I haven't got a lot of makeup on today because it hurt to put anything on it, so I've just put a bit of bronzer and a bit of concealer on. Can't open my mouth very wide, so that might be a bit of an issue, but here we are. We're going to film, we're dedicated. I am in my newly painted room. I'm back in my room, hey! I've still got a lot of stuff to do. I have not got a wardrobe at the moment. My other one broke, so we're getting another one. But it's a while till it's delivered, so I've still got stuff around me. So I'm sitting on the floor until I work out how I can refilm, because I had to sort stuff out, so I'm trying to sort out a place to film. So I thought I'd film here in my nice bright green wall, and just film here for you today. So today's video is a bit of a different one. Sorry, I just had a notification on my laptop. Let's just get rid of that. I wanted to talk about my mental health journey. It's something that I don't really talk about a lot. I tell people that I have mental health problems. I have anxiety and depression, diagnosed anxiety and depression. Anxiety and severe depression. So I'm not ashamed to have it. I just don't, it's not obviously something you tell a lot of people unless it comes up in conversation. So I just thought I'd give a little rundown of my whole journey with my mental health. Thought some people might find it interesting, some people might find it helpful, I don't know. So I thought it'd be quite a chill video to do, one that I can do, doesn't require a lot of stress and aggro because my face hurts so much. So yeah, that's what today's video is. Let's just get started. Oh, it feels really weird to talk about. So my mental health problems I've had for as long as I can remember. Definitely think it started in secondary school. I was bullied a lot from year 7 to year 11. It's just consistent. I was bullied for my hair colour, I was bullied for my freckles, I was bullied for my weight, I was bullied because I was the funny friend, and I was bullied because I didn't have a boyfriend. So at school I was like, honey, I'm not here for that, I'm here to get an education. But still, I was bullied for everything, just bullied for existing, and it was a horrible time. I hated school because of it. It really has tarnished my school experience because of that, and that's definitely when my mental health struggles started, and it made me more anxious, it made me really self-conscious, it made me not want to go out, it made me really, really anxious, actually, to the point where when I started college, I was so terrified of starting college because I just knew it was going to happen there. And it's even weirder because you're considered one of the weirdos because you do performing arts and everyone just thinks you run around being a tree. So we were already sectioned off. That sounds worse than it is. We were put in a separate place of the building because that's where our performing arts rooms were. So it was we were already separate from everyone else, and we kind of kept ourselves to ourselves because that's what performers normally do. We don't mix with a lot of other people. So it was hard. The bullying didn't just when I was younger. It wasn't just when I was in school or when I was in college. It was in public as well. People I didn't even know would say some horrible, vile things, call me every name under the sun, and the thing is, bullying someone because of how they look or their weight or everything doesn't make that person think do you know what, I'm going to show them and I'm going to change, it makes you more depressed, and it makes you more susceptible to like binge eating and stuff, because you don't really know what else to do. So my weight definitely got worse because I felt that's the only way I could cope at the time, which is not a good coping mechanism at all. And I don't do that anymore because I'm on slimming world, and I've lost 4 stone this week. Not just this week, but like I got my 4 stone award this week, 4 stone 2 pounds. So yeah, it's so I'm going completely off topic. It's really hard to like speak directly about it because obviously I don't really speak about it a lot. But yeah, there were some dark times. There were some really dark times. I'm okay-ish at the moment, but there was some really dark times where I didn't really see anything good. That's why I loved performing, because I wasn't me, because I hated me. Everyone else hated me, so why should I not hate me too? So I hated myself a lot. So I loved performing because then I wasn't me. It wasn't me out there. It wasn't me showing myself off to the world and being vulnerable. It was someone else. So that's why I love performing so much, because I hide in it, and it was tough. It was really tough, because I tried so many ways to like eat healthier and everything, and just nothing worked at the time. And no matter what I did, I just always felt so self-conscious and so crap. It was just awful. It was a really, really awful time. School and college were really awful because of it. When you're judged solely for just being alive, it does sort of make you think, what's the point? Like, why should I live my life when everybody like just despises your existence? And it was hard, and obviously I know I have some great friends in my life, and I did have some great friends back then as well that really supported me and stuck by me and everything, but it's hard. Obviously it's hard because like for them, they were seeing one of their friends be bullied all the time, and at the time it wasn't as talked about. Like, people's mental health wasn't as much of a thing when I was growing up, and I knew that something wasn't okay in my brain, and I knew that I wasn't okay, and I knew that it wasn't like everyone else's brain. I knew that there was something wrong, but at the time I wasn't open to those resources as much as we are now to know what that was. Hang on, sorry, I'm waiting on a call from the garage because my car's in for its MOT. I thought it was that, but it's not. It was a text. Yeah, so when you don't have as many resources to know about mental health problems growing up, it's hard to realise that that's what you suffer from. So you sort of just put it to the back of your mind, and you sort of just think, oh, I'm just being stupid, I'm just like, and there's only so much you can talk to your friends about it without thinking, oh my god, they're going to get so annoyed with me constantly talking about how sad I am and how much I hate my life and all of these silly things. And well, they're not silly, they're valid, but you know, and there's only so much you think that they're going to want to listen before they go, I've had enough, like, shut up. And that did happen to me a few times when I was younger. Like, I'd speak to my friends about it and they'd be like, are you ever happy? Or like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're always talking about this, like, I don't want to hear it. And that's hard. That's hard as a 16-year-old being told that no one wants to hear it, because then you go through your life thinking, well, there's no point in telling anyone how I feel because no one wants to hear it. And that's when it gets worse, because that's when you then don't reach out for help like I did. I didn't get help for a very long time. And it got worse, and the more I tried to hold stuff in, the worse it got, and I suffered with panic attacks when I was at university, and I suffered with some very dark thoughts. None that I ever went through with, but there were some very low moments. And to my mum and dad, if you're watching this, I am okay at the moment, don't worry. It's just, oh god, I feel like I'm shaking, it's really hard to talk about. So yeah, I finished college, and after being bullied there as well, not by anyone in my class, but like by other people, and it was always the ginger and the weight, and it's just awful. You just get called so many names, like you just could never do anything right. You could never do anything right. Like, you could be the funny one and make jokes, and they'd still come back to the fact that you're the fat ginger friend that no one's ever going to get with, like, romantically, and no one's ever really going to care as much about. And it was drilled into me that was the case. So when I went off to uni, I was terrified, because when I moved into halls, I was so far away from home, because I was in Bournemouth, which is really far from where I live. Excuse me, Mr. Plane, please be quiet. It was so far away from where I lived that I was terrified. Like, I have no one around me that I know, so I've got to make all these new friends, and I'm always going to be thinking, they're judging me, they're talking behind my back, they're bullying me. And it was hard as hell. Like, my uni experience was hard anyway. Like, that's a completely separate video. I'll talk about that another time if any of you want to see that. But going to a university where you already feel like that, it was hard. And being away from home, I was really homesick, so my mental health took a massive hit when I was at uni. But I think in my end of first year / second year, I started to realise that I wasn't just a little bit sad. I started to realise that I was depressed, and I started to realise that I had anxiety. I mean, I'd always known, and when I knew what those terms were, I knew that that's what I had, but I was too scared to go to a doctor, because I heard so many stories of people older than me going to the doctor and them just being like, oh, you just need to sleep a bit more, and you need to, like, do more exercise, and etc, etc. And I just thought, they're not going to take me seriously, so I didn't go. And I went through the whole of the 3 years at uni knowing I was depressed, knowing I was anxious, trying to hide it, trying to be the funny friend so that no one saw it, because I didn't want people judging me for that as well. I didn't want people thinking, oh god, not only is she fat and ginger, she's also depressed. Like, and I know that a lot of people it's really hard to talk. A lot of people in my life would not judge me for that, and I'm aware of that, but it's hard, because talking about mental health is still something that is a struggle, and it is still, sometimes people think you're just doing it for attention. Like, I would not have an anxiety attack or cry because I'm clinically depressed for attention. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel so low that I can't sometimes get out of bed. I don't want to feel so low that I can't sleep. I don't want to live my life like that. So why would anyone do it for attention? I don't understand. But there is still that stigma around it. Still, some people don't really get it, and especially older generations don't necessarily understand, because back then you sort of just kept calm and kept going. Like, you just carried on. There was never any help for it back then, so a lot of people, I felt, would judge me for going to the doctor or going to get any help. So I just decided to hide it and just be that funny friend, and just would always make a joke and always be the first person to make a joke of myself so that no one else could do it. So I was very much self-sabotaging, because if I did it, then no one else would do it. Even though I knew I was hurting myself, I would prefer to do it to myself than have some other random person bully me for it. So it's hard. I have struggled for a really long time, and I started speaking up about my mental health, but also speaking up about the fact that I knew something was wrong but I hadn't been to the doctor, and because I was scared of judgment. And a family friend reached out to me. Well, I say a family friend, she is a member of my family, I adore her. She reached out to me and offered to go with me to the doctor as a support system, and be there with me to hold my hand if I needed it, to say anything if I needed it. And so I agreed. I thought, I can't live my life like this anymore. I had a really bad breakdown a little while ago, or quite a while ago now. It was about a job situation that I was in. Before I started the job, I had a really massive breakdown about it, and I thought, I can't feel like that again anymore. I can't. It's horrible. I was shaking, I was crying, I was really struggling to like breathe, and I thought, what, this isn't fair. It's not fair for me to feel like this, and me to put, just so you know, it's not the job I'm doing at the moment, it was a job before the job I'm doing at the moment. I love the job I'm doing now. I've not had a breakdown about this job. That's how you know it's a good job. But yeah, I knew that I couldn't feel like it anymore. I knew that I had to get help, so I went with my friend, a family member, to the doctor, which was hard enough as it was because it was our family doctor who has known me for years, so it was hard to like say it. I sort of went in and was like, I don't know what to say, and then my family member was like, speak your truth, essentially, and I just said, I think I have depression. And I said, actually, I know I have depression. And he went through the whole system of the whole, on a scale of 1 to 10, blah blah blah, like how often do you feel this, and etc etc. And it came out that I had a very high score, and I was clinically depressed and had anxiety. So, well, severely depressed and had anxiety. Sorry, that was my diagnosis. I said clinically, that's not what I meant. Severely depressed and had anxiety, so it was tough. And in a way that sort of told me how bad it was, because I knew I was depressed, but I don't think I ever realised it was severe until then. So he prescribed me some medication. I am on citalopram. I take 1 tablet every day. I take it in the morning. I went back to him a few weeks after it got into my system, and like did the test again, and my numbers had gone from like really high to really low. So it was amazing news. I had like not felt as anxious and not felt as depressed being on it, and obviously there are still times where I still feel crap even if I take my medication. Like the last few weeks I felt a bit off mentally, but I have been taking my medication. It's just sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes it's never going to go away. My depression is a part of me. It's never going to go away. It's never going to be cured. It's always going to be there. It will just be less of a black cloud than it normally is. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like a massive just black rain cloud over you all the time, and it's horrible. It's horrible because you want to go out and you want to live your life and you want to not care, and just because you've only got one life, you just want to enjoy it. But sometimes depression makes you also want to stay in bed, and that's okay too. That's valid. Everything you're feeling is valid, and it's okay to sometimes have a day where you just do nothing because that's what your mind is telling you need. But don't ever wallow in that. Don't ever sit and stay in those days, because that's when it gets worse. You always need to pull yourself out of those days. So you have your day, you have your down day, but then have a day where you go out and you see a friend, or even if you can't bring yourself to do that, but you go out and you go for a walk. Like, that's such an achievement sometimes, and it means you're out, it means you got dressed, and it means you're accomplishing something, whether that's something important or whether it is just a walk. Like, everyone has stages of how they can go about things, and that's totally fine, that's totally valid. And I just felt like I needed to make this video to not to tell everyone, not to tell the world that I have depression and anxiety, because so many people do. It's not that. It's for me to let you in a little bit, let you know me, let you know what I've gone through, let you know what I'm going through, and I'm in a much better place. I have been obviously on swimming well since February. Like I said earlier, I've lost 4 stone 2 pounds now. So I have a direction I want to go in, but there's been circumstances recently that have made my mental health take a back step, and that's okay. I keep saying that's valid, but it is. Everything you're feeling is valid, and if anyone out there is struggling, please reach out to someone, whether that be a medical professional, whether that be a friend, whether that be a family member. Please reach out to someone. And if any of my friends are watching this and are struggling and don't know where to go or what to do, then feel free to message me. I'm always here for anyone, because I never want anyone to feel the way I felt. I never want anyone to feel that low that things get worrying, and I never want anyone to feel alone, because I've felt that way and it's horrible and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So even if we haven't talked in years, even if we're not as close as we were, or we're a friend of a friend and I don't know you that well, still reach out if you need to. I'm always here. I know my mental health isn't the greatest, but I'm always there to help and support other people as well. I'm never going to say I need to completely focus on myself. Obviously sometimes you need that and you need time to focus on yourself, and that's okay. But I always want to help people as well. I'm an empath and I always want to help other people and make sure they're okay. Sorry, I keep looking over there at one of my Funko Pops because it's turned and it like feels like it's looking at me. I'm getting really like self-conscious. Not self-conscious, but like really creeped out because it's like looking at me. Sorry, it's completely off topic. See, this is my problem. I can't stay on topic because I feel like I get judged. But there is still people that shout things out in the street to me. It still happens. I still get abuse thrown at me. I still get bullied. I still get the looks. I still get everything. Especially at work at the moment with all the rules and regulations, I'm still going to get it. But I have a great support system around me. I have great friends. I have great family. I have great people I work with. I have great bosses, and if there was anything ever wrong there, they're so open about mental health and so available for me to say, look, this is happening, I feel like this, I'll be okay, but this is what's happening. So they're totally cool and totally helpful. So I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate my friend who helped me go to the doctors. I adore you. I don't want to say your name in case you don't want me to say your name, but you know who you are. And I absolutely adore you for helping me, and I can't thank you enough because I think you saved my life. Getting emotional. I don't know where I'd be right now if you didn't help me with that. So I appreciate it so much, and I appreciate your constant support, and I appreciate my family's constant support and my friends' constant support. I just appreciate everyone in my life, and I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very grateful that I chose that time to reach out, because if I hadn't, it would have gone even worse. So however hard it is, in the long run, it was the best decision I've made, hands down. So yeah, please reach out if you need help. Please message me if you need anything. Please never feel alone. There is a lot less stigma nowadays around mental health than there used to be, and a lot of people suffer from it, and social media doesn't help, and the expectation of having this fabulous Instagram worthy life does not help. Live your life how you want to live your life. Be you, be authentic, be amazing, be fabulous, and I'm always here if anyone needs anything. I think I'm going to leave it there before I ramble on too much. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot to talk about, so please be nice. But yeah, please be kind to others always. You never know what someone is going through on the inside, so the smallest little thing, even someone that works in service, you never know what they're going through. So the smallest thank you, or please be kind to others, please spread love and positivity always. Up again. You can tell I'm rambling. So please be kind, please be positive, and please look after each other. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave comment any suggestions of videos you'd like to see down below, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.